Well, a couple days ago, Hudson, we were talking about Coachella starting off with a 12-hour traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
So not the greatest of starts for Coachella. Also kind of random. They had Bernie Sanders out.
Yeah, it was an interesting opening weekend.
Yeah, very, very interesting headlines coming out of Coachella. But to me, the most insane headline was this.
More insane than a 12-hour traffic jam.
More insane. This is absolutely crazy to me. 60% of Coachella attendees financed their tickets, as in put their tickets on a payment plan.
So 60% of people went into debt to get stuck in a 12-hour traffic jam.
Yes, went into debt to go to Coachella. So
and get heat stroke.
Yeah, literally. So apparently, this was reported by Billboard. And they said more than 60% of concert goers used an installment plan to break up the cost of the $649 general admission ticket into separate payments.
When you hear that it's that much, I don't know. Like, I mean, who wants to drop that much all at once? It's a lot of money.
It's an expensive ticket, but you're also adding on an additional cost when you do this installment plan.
How much does it cost? What's the interest or whatever on it?
I don't know if there's any interest, but it does say that there's an additional service cost of $41 if you do the division up, and they divide it into $50 payments.
So it literally goes from like $649
almost
to
$700. Yeah.
I mean, once you're spending $649 anyways.
What's another $40?
I know, yeah.
That seems to be what people were thinking because, again, over 60% of general admission ticket buyers did this payment plan. And this also does not include the cost of travel, accommodations, food, drinks, merchandise, people with the crazy outfits. They got to pay for those when they go to Coachella. So, overall, it just seems like a bad financial investment to go to Coachella.
I mean, honestly, that is just an astronomical price. I know everything's more expensive now.
Right, that's crazy.
And I love going to concerts, and there's lots of artists I would love, but there's not any combo of artists I don't think I could think of that I would pay $649 for upfront or on payments.
Yes.
That is a crazy amount.
I remember the most expensive concert ticket I've ever paid for was like $80-some, and I felt like that was a lot. But I was like, oh, it's worth it because of the band that I went and saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never going to get the chance to see them again. It was the Eagles. And so I was like, I'm fine paying for that to see the Eagles. But I cannot imagine paying almost $700 to go to a festival and then also having to basically go into debt for it. You know, that's crazy to me.
That is, I mean, that's a lot. And I know part of it is the experience of it. Like, you're going with friends probably, and like, it's just, that's a whole thing. But there's other experiences you can have. And I'm thinking too, like, even if it's convenient to have them all in one place. Like, if you have many artists there that you all want to see.
Yeah.
To see them all in one go instead of having to piece it out into different whenever they come to town. But also, you think about a lot of the people going to Coachella are like in California anyways. These bands and artists are coming through all the time.
All the time.
And you piece out like the 5 artists that you want to see, it probably would be about the same.
Yeah.
And that's effectively like putting on payments if you saw them spaced out over a year or whatever. So
well,
it is a crazy thing to do.
To me, it's less about like, you know, I think there's 2 conversations here. Yes, the Coachella price has gotten more and more expensive throughout the years, and to me, astronomical to the point of don't go. It's not worth it. And the other part of this story is that I think it's so sad that we're just, as a society, okay with just accepting that payment plans are normal, and you know, it's become more normalized. Like we talked a couple weeks ago about DoorDash and introducing the 4 payment plans for your burrito. You know, so it's just like everything we see, we're just turning around and seeing people go into debt for something. It's like, I just feel like this is overall not a good sign. Like, it's a pretty bad indictment of our society.
At that and not better.
Yeah.
Over the last several years. I don't even want to know. I know the stats are always out there of how much collectively as Americans we have in credit card debt. And
that number continues to increase and increase and increase. It's sad because to me, it's like, this is the type of stuff. And I know they said this when the DoorDash thing came out. You don't think that it's going to set you up for failure in the future, but it's a pattern that starts when you do something like this that leads people into debt, like worse financial debt. And so that's the bad part about getting into these payment plans. It may not seem like a bad thing when you first do it, but when you do it continuously, it's like suddenly you're in a lot of debt.
On its own, paying $41 for a almost $700 concert ticket or music festival ticket is not the worst thing I've ever heard. But yeah, if that's a routine, if that's something you're doing with your money routinely for other items like that, then you're setting
just going to snowball.
Yeah.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.